Hello, directors. I'm Donna Landy, National Executive Director from Williamsburg, Virginia, here with my work wife today, the Claudia Bazaar, or the Claudia Bazaar, I should say. Really excited to be here with all of you. So today I'm going to start us off with talking about goals, right? Who's thinking about 2025 and goals for next year? Well, if you are, you're definitely at the right place. And I actually did not make a canvas for today because what I want you to do is everyone go get a piece of paper. I'm going to start off having you do some exercises. And you definitely want a piece of paper and a pen. I mean, if you have to do it on a computer, that's fine. But I don't know if you know this, but handwriting is crucial because it engages the brain differently, right? It enhances your memory retention, creativity, and focus too. It stimulates multiple senses through the physical act of writing. So I don't know if you know that, it's always better to write. And that what we're going to do today, some of the things, the activities would be so much better for deep processing, right, of information compared to typing on a keyboard. Now, I'm really fast on a keyboard, but when I really want to take something in, or when I do this exercise, I always use a paper and a notebook. So basically, just so you know, with your kids too, writing by hand can improve learning and comprehension. Did you guys know that? Who knew that? Put in the chat a 1 if you knew that already. My team knows that. I say that all the time. All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, I guess, in some places. Today, we are diving into setting meaningful goals and crafting a compelling vision. So by the end of my little session, you'll have a clear understanding of how to set goals for the year ahead and how to expand your vision to align with your deepest aspirations. So let's get started. First of all, we want to start by reflecting on last year. How many of you have already started reflecting on last year? So what I like my team to do is to celebrate their wins and identify opportunities right away, right? Now, I know we haven't finished the year, but you can pretty much tell your wins. So let's begin by taking a moment on that piece of paper, right? Think about your achievements. Maybe you reached a new sales milestone. Maybe you earned your first trip. Maybe you grew your team, or you did more parties than last year. Take a minute and jot down your top 2 successes. I'm sure you know what they are. Feel free to pop a couple of them in the chat. Anybody feeling up to popping in the chat? Go ahead. 2 things, 2 successes from 2024. Anyone brave enough to put some in the chat? Main director, maintain director. I love it. Trip, grew your team, personal sales, advanced director. Oh my God. Okay, there's going to be like a ton. This thing's going to go crazy. So I'm going to leave it alone. Congratulations, guys, right? Take some time to celebrate your wins. So important. And it really is important for you to identify all your successes. I usually have my consultants this time of year compare their sales, their number of parties, their recruits, their number of directors promoted as compared to last year. And I also like that comparison to be about your personal business and then about your team, right? Do you understand why you would want to do that? I mean, remember, as a leader, your business is the most important thing it's the foundation for your business, right? And it's absolutely critical. So make sure that you separate it out and look at your personal business and then your overall team. And one of the best tools for that is your prior year comparison on Consultants Corner. I'm sure most of you know that. And I recommend that you take some time this week to dive into your numbers. Now, if you're not a numbers person, it's okay. They've done most of the work for you, right? But create your own scorecard this week, right? How'd you do? And if you're seeing growth, I want you to celebrate it. Make notes of what you did and how you will continue to do the same things. Now let's flip the coin. Let's consider for a minute some of the areas that you faced some challenges. Perhaps a goal that seemed within reach, it slipped away on you, or maybe there was an initiative that just didn't pan out as you planned. Your prior year comparison will indicate those negative growth areas. But let's identify them not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. So I want you to write down one or two challenges that you faced in 2024. Jot them down on your paper. I mean, feel free if you want to pop them into the chat, you can do that too. So you'll want to take time this week to review what you did or didn't do in these areas and what changes you'll implement in 2025. Now, after you've done a review of your business, remember again, this is so important, include your personal business in that. Remember, as directors, we should be paid as or qualified as every single month, right? Every single month. We are not on the 3-month roller coasters. If you are, remember that is a grace month. That is not what our expectations of a director are. Our expectations are for you to be earning the most and to be helping the most people, right, through being qualified as director each and every month. So if you don't have an active team, that means you should be selling the 5,000 each month. And you should be recruiting at least 2 new consultants each and every month just to maintain your team. And if you want growth, 4 to 6 new consultants personally each and every month. That's personally, because you have to lead the way, right? By example. Be the leader you want your team to be, right? If those of you who are trying to build teams and build leaders, you have to first be the leader that you want your team to be. And that would mean selling 5,000, recruiting at least 2 or more if you want growth. So let's talk about your why, right? Why? Why do I want to sell 5,000? Why do I want to recruit? Why do I want to be a director? Well, understanding your why is absolutely foundational of all your goals. It's what keeps you driven and passionate. It's what gets me up, excited to get behind this desk, behind this computer, get in front of my team and get to work every single day. So let's take a moment to share. Can anyone tell me right away, first 2 people, to pop it in the chat, what is your why? What is your why? Why do you do Pamper Chef? Why are you so committed to Pamper Chef? And you are so committed to getting up each and every day running parties? Put in the chat, what's your why? Income, mom, sanity, family, helping out, financial independence, making money, right? Okay, flexibility, family, connections. Yep, absolutely. Thanks so much, you guys, for sharing. I want to share an exercise that I do very often with folks. I'm sure there's a few of you that are saying, well, it's income, but I'm not really sure. Like, it doesn't get me exciting, get me to work every single day. Like, I work a couple times or I work here and there when I feel like it, but it's not driving me every single day. And that's probably because you have not really grasped what your why is. And like I said, it's the foundation of all your goals. Your why is your foundation. So I want to do a fun little challenge with you. Take your piece of paper, or maybe flip it over if you've already written on it, and make 4 columns. And in each column, I want you to, the first column, write the word be. The second column, write the word have. The third column, write the word do. And the fourth column, write the word give. Because we're going to do this special, fun, inspiring activity called the 101 Challenge. Anyone ever heard of it? Put 101 in the chat if you've heard of it. This is based on Mark Victor Hansen's idea of creating a massive list of things that you want to be, have, do, or give in your life. And this isn't just about your business. It's about your personal aspirations too. This is about your family, your religious beliefs. I mean, this is everything. This is you. 101 things, right? So we're going to start this together right now. And I want to we're just going to take a couple of maybe a half minute on each one for you to get at least one or two things and get your brain going on this. Okay. But so the first column is B. I want you to start writing now. What do you want to be? And anything that comes to mind. You want to be at a new career plan. You want to be an excellence achievers in one or two or three or four categories. You want to be a mentor. You want to be a coach. You want to be someone that helps others. Right, right, right. What do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still being every day. Remember, this isn't just about Pampered Chef. This is about life. What do you want to be? All right, I see you guys writing crazily. Now you're going to come back to this because you got a job to do. We're going to fill this with 101 things, right? So let's go to the second column right now. What do you want to have? This one's a little easier. Do you want to have financial independence? Do you want to achieve a level of financial stability that allows for comfort and freedom? Do you want to have a healthy lifestyle? Maintain a balanced diet? Maybe an exercise routine for healthier life? How about a new kitchen, a new house? I just want my floors back. A dream home, a lake house. These physical goals are tangible, right? These can be great motivators. Like I love it when you have a lot of things on the have list. So start writing. And here's the thing, dream big here, guys. You dream big. Don't censor your aspirations. Don't censor anything. Everything is game. Anything that pops into your brain when you do this exercise, write it down. As absurd as it might sound, going to the moon, write it down. Our yellow personalities have a harder time doing this list, I will tell you. So somebody just said, why is it so hard for me to do this? People that are helpers, that are here on this earth, primarily to be helpers, right? Struggle with making lists for themselves because their existence is all about others. But that's okay because there is a place for you here too. Have should not be hard. Maybe you need a new car. You know? Maybe you want to have things for your family. You want to have a new playground in your neighborhood. You know, you want to have a new place for the grandkids to hang out together. You want to have a new pool. Okay, the next column is do. What do you want to do? Travel. I know you guys love to travel if you're with Pampered Chef. Visit at least 5 countries on different continents. Experience some new cultures. See new landscapes. I watched Yellowstone last night, the end of it. Did you guys catch it? The landscape is so beautiful there. What do you want to do? Do you want to learn a new skill? Do you want to step out of your comfort zone? Maybe you want to do pottery, or you want to jump out of airplanes, jet skiing in the Caribbean. What do you want to do? Where are you going to take your kids? I was crying too. Crazy. It was good. And finally, what do you want to give? Here's my yellow people. Now you can write. You're going to have a full column here. What do you want to give? How do you want to give back to the community? Engage in or start charitable initiatives that support local needs. What do you want to give to your kids? What do you want to give to your husbands and your spouses and your significant others? What do you want to give to your friends? What do you want to give to your team? What do you want to give to your recruits? Who wants to give more time to loved ones? Dedicate quality time to family, friends, and creating lasting memories. We all want that, don't we? And maybe, just maybe, there is something you don't want to be, or there's something you don't want to have. You don't want to have happen. You don't want to have to be the person that goes to work every day and puts their kid in childcare. You don't want to do. You don't want to clean your house anymore. That's me. Don't want to clean toilets. And you don't want to give up. What are some things you don't want to give up? That special time, date night with your husband, flexibility. So it could go both ways. Could be on the negative side as well as the positive side. Again, I want you guys to go and dream big, dream huge, dream freely, and fill those pages. You literally can take a notebook. You all should sit by your Christmas tree or your wherever you are, your special place in your house, your special chair. Get a notebook, get your favorite beverage, and give yourself the gift of an hour or two and make your list of 101 things. And I promise you, by the end, you will start getting clarity of what's really important to you. And that, my friends, will bring you closer to your why. And it's probably not even your why until it gives you a feeling in your body, in your stomach, and it maybe makes you cry. Then you know it's your why. Okay. So take some time, because this, if you are not getting all the things you want out of your life and your business, this is the most important thing you can do as you begin 2025. And you will see this challenge all over the place, but, and I have changed it a little bit from Mark Victor Hansen's. I added the give to the end. I think his was just the first three. So now that we have our why, right? Anyone dreaming of going on a cruise vacation next year? Who's dreaming of what cruise you going on? Put it in the chat. I want to say, right? Because once you have a why and a vision of what you want, then it's time to set some smart goals. Holy macro, look at all these Alaska people. Guys, we have some work to do, don't we? This is awesome. Well, you're going to be excited because at the end of this, I'm going to give you a little fun tracker that I created on Google Sheets that will help you play with your numbers to find out what your plan of action will be, right? And it'll be great for you to use with your consultants to help them find theirs as well. So, okay, so defining goals. How many of you have heard of SMART goals? Write SMART in the chat if you've heard of them, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? You guys all know what SMART is because you are all smart because you're here, right? So let's craft a SMART goal to go on the cruise. So first, I'm just going to take the lower cruise, right? What is the specific goal? It's the cruise, right? But it's not just the cruise. On April 24th, I'm taking my husband on the Celebrity Reflection, and we're going to be staying in an ocean view room. We're going to have $500 travel allowance. We're going to have this perk and that perk and this and that. I can see it. It's so crystal clear. It needs to be crystal clear. You need to see every place you're going in Alaska. You need to have a vision board of it, right? In front of you that you look at every day. When you see it, it gets you excited. It puts a fire in your belly. Then it's a real goal, right? And it's make it as specific as possible. And specific, we need, in this case, I'm going to just put 75,000 points, right? Maybe you need 220 or 230, whatever. But 75,000. So then next, we need it to be measurable. So we need to break it down. We can't just say, okay, I'm going to Alaska. I need 230,000 points and think it's going to happen, guys. It doesn't happen that way, right? You got to break it down monthly and weekly and daily. So your monthly target, if you're going for a level 1 cruise, is 75,000 divided by 12 months. That's 6,250 points per month. Where is it going to come from? And then break it down by a week. That's 1,563 points. And then break it down by day. Believe it or not, it's only $223 that you have to sell in a day. I mean, we could do that, right? That's pretty easy. Help your consultants do that. And make sure that you have trackers, right, based on your party average. So the tracker I'm going to give you will have a place for your party average. The next thing is it achievable, right? So discuss the steps. How are you going to earn the points? Are you going to increase sales? Are you going to host more parties? Are you going to recruit more? Right? There's all kinds of things that you can do. It is achievable for every single one of you. And you have to believe that and know that right now. But Jeff doesn't give us stuff that's not achievable. And it needs to be relevant. Is this connected to your why? Is traveling connected to your why? Is going on this trip on that date important to you and connected to your why? And it needs to have a timestamp. And usually I really encourage my team and all my directors to earn their trips in 11 months, because that way you're not playing catch up in December, number one, right? Because it's a shorter month. And two, it builds in a buffer for unexpected challenges, right? You just never know what's going to happen. So you always build in either 20% upfront or build in an extra month. So having that time, of course, we know the time frame is January to December. So basically, you set up that action plan. You'll set up your monthly goals. You'll do a weekly focus. You have daily check-ins. I mean, I don't think I need to talk about weekly focus because, you know, if you're going to do 1,563 points, how many parties is that, right? Probably 4 to 6 parties a week. And you will want to have some kind of a weekly tracker to make sure that you're booking at least 4 to 6 parties a week. Obviously, if you're on a higher cruise, you'll need more parties. And daily check-ins. Are you going to do some daily check-ins for yourself, right? Maybe have some kind of a tracker. Knowing that you have to sell $223 a day, you'll know right away if you're off for the week, right? Or maybe you'd rather track it weekly. I think daily gives you more control though, because we are in a daily business right now. We are definitely in at least a weekly business. The days of monthly business are gone. You guys know that, right? You need to work weekly and daily in this business. So also monitoring and adjusting, right? Having time to do that. Motivation and support. Oh my goodness. You want to share your goals. Share your goals with everyone, your family, your team, your upline, and make sure that you have monthly visits with them, right? To look at your trackers, to review, to make changes to your plan if you need it. But you want to do this early on. You don't want to wait. Everybody waits till September and says, oh, I want to earn Alaska. And look how much work you have to do when you wait that long, right? And then finally, you do want to build in some milestones and some opportunity to think about potential challenges, right? So milestones, what will they be? Will they be a monthly check-in? How am I doing? Will it be a 6 months? Of course, conference gives us a milestone because people that earn the trip usually either walk or are celebrated with some kind of goodie if they earn the trip halfway through the program, right? You guys know that. So, but celebrate your little victories all along the way, little trinkets, little sailboats and trip and, maybe a new bathing suit or whatever. Just celebrate yourself and your achievements. And then set some time aside now to think about what might be some potential challenges. Am I having really low party attendance, or do I have a really busy family? Do I have travel work conflicts? Am I not consistent with my business? Visit those challenges now and come up with solutions now, right? So what's going to happen when I have a really bad month with the kids' schedule, or work is crazy because it's tax season, right? Plan ahead so that you don't lose out on your dreams and goals. And I'm just going to, last minute, real quick, I'm going to share my screen and show you my tracker and how it works. And I will put it in the chat for you as well. I think, Claudia, am I sharing my screen? You see a tracker
Yep,
here?
you're good to
Okay.
go.
So basically, like if your show average is 400, you just put in 400 here and you see how all the numbers will change over to the side. So if I'm going to do, I did calculate for double free for the first 2 weeks. So this basically says, if let's say I'm going to kick it up, I'm going to do 12 parties and my show average is 400. Look how much I'm going to get in double points, right? And then if I'm going to average just 4 parties a week, I can just put in 4 here, it'll calculate. If I'm going to do 6 parties a week, it'll calculate. And if I'm going to do recruits, or if I'm going to be paid at different levels, you can just pop them in here. So I did not protect this. So if you mess with it, you'll have to just go back to the original, just come up here, make a copy. And you can make a copy for yourself and just kind of put it in there. What I think is really fun when you're using this with your consultants is at the bottom, it also has how much money they're going to make, right, for doing that. And of course, that's some of the things we've shared. I did not calculate elite status on this. Of course, it doesn't include overrides and bonuses, but this is a really simple tool for you to figure out how you're going to earn the trip. So give me some love in the chat if you like it. I'm going to put this in right now. Claudia Bazaar, it's all yours.
All right, you want to stop sharing?
Yeah.
All right, the spreadsheet people are happy. The green personalities are super happy right now, aren't you? I'm definitely not a green personality, but I'm happy for all of
Yeah.
you guys. So
Claudia hates that. She's just like, I don't even know what to do with that
uh,
thing.
I'll just write it on a piece of paper. Let's be fine. Anyways, all right, so we talked about goals. Hopefully you kind of crafted your vision. I actually do this exercise all the time, every time she does it, because something else pops out. So the be, have, do, give can be a continuous list that you guys are going to keep working on. We talked about goals and SMART goals. And I always like to say, yes, it is important, okay, to set clear and ambitious goals. The goals kind of give you the direction, right? Where are we going? Where are we getting, in our car every day, and where are we heading to? But there's one more crucial piece that I actually think is way more important than setting goals, and that is habits. Okay. You can tell me all day long that you want to earn a trip to Alaska, but I want to know, what are you going to do every single day? What habits are you going to start? What habits are you going to get rid of? What habits need to be tweaked? What are you going to do every single day? Not someday on a Monday, not someday on a Friday, not every other Tuesday, every single day. Okay. I am a habit addict. I'm a schedule addict and I love it and I'm obsessed with it because it allows you to not have to live in fear every day of like, oh God, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm in Alaska and I'm sitting here and I'm working, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Right. So my goal is to help you really break that down into a schedule or routine or a rhythm that you can work on helping your habits bridge you to your goals. Okay, so I love to talk about habits, and I think that eventually your goal should be that, and you already have some habits like that, they're just kind of automatic, right? Anything you can think of that you do that's, whether it's business or not, doesn't matter. Brushing your teeth or laying out your gym clothes or making your coffee, right? Anything that you already do that's kind of automatic that happens first thing and during the day, kids come home. What habits do you guys have? Put them in the chat. Wake up, feed the dogs, right? It's automatic. You're not like, oh, did my dog starve today? No, you do it every single day. Okay. Medicine, right? So the goal is to do it without a second thought, right? And that's how you need to build your business into those actions that help you just do it automatically without having all this stress and anxiety and anxiousness about it. All right. And we have to learn new habits. All right. So if you have never earned a trip to Alaska, if you've never been to where you want to go, we have to develop into that person that has new habits. So transition is absolutely key here. And it's a good transition. Okay. Every day we should become a little bit smarter, a little bit better. And those transitions, those new habits are going to help you go from the old ways of operating, right? This is how I used to work, right? To the new habits of maybe it is filling out that spreadsheet every single day. And every day, your goal is to make it to that finish line of checking off all the habits and being like, yes, I had a good day. I'm moving into the right direction. As long as I keep doing this for 365 days or less, I will hit my goal of becoming the next advanced director, becoming the next senior, earning Alaska and so on. And I want you to think about that, right? If you, how many of you guys, so put in the chat, did you earn Disney? Yes or not? How many of you guys are still working towards it, right? So the habits, for example, that you will need every single day is booking parties, doing your follow-up, sending your host coaching. I believe a little bit of social media, right? So those are some of the most income producing activities that you need to figure out, okay, how long do I want to spend on that? When do I want to do it? And how often do I want to do those things every single day? So I want you to go back to your piece of paper. All right, let's grab that again. And I want you to reflect for a second. I want you to write down 3 habits that are currently supporting your success. Just write them down. Okay. Just write them down. 3 habits on your piece of paper that are currently supporting your success. Maybe it's daily booking messages. Maybe it's a daily social media post. Maybe it's, running your virtual parties. Okay. And then I want you to write down 3 habits that may be holding you back, like hitting the snooze button, scrolling too much on social media, neglecting to look at your numbers because you don't want to see them, um, anything like that. 3 bad habits that may be holding you back from helping you go to the next level that you want to go after. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, that's a bad one, right? What are some of the bad habits that hold you back? Snooze button is the worst. All right. We got to get rid of that. 5 minutes of sleep, extra sleep is not going to change your life. I promise. Scrolling is really bad. Set a timer. So you don't be like, oh my gosh, how is it already dinner time? It's 6 o'clock. What was I doing the last hour? Scroll, scroll, right? And these notes are for you. Okay. We don't need to share them. But being honest is the first step towards building better habits. Staying in a comfort zone. That's a bad habit. You should be uncomfortable all the time. All right. Otherwise, we're not growing. So let's talk about good and bad habits. So, good habits align with your goals, right? They help you head towards where you want to go and they kind of run on autopilot. And over time, you really don't have to convince yourself anymore, or you don't have to go past your feelings and talk to yourself to just do them, right? So doing your follow-ups, maybe making a new product video. When the new products come out, you make a new video. Simple, right? We don't have to think about it. Every day, I need to send booking messages or follow-ups if I want to have a successful business. Every day, if I'm running virtual parties, obviously I need to send host coaching and get into my parties. Those are good habits that are just automatically aligned with your goals and they run on autopilot, right? Make sense? Okay. Bad habits, some of those you just wrote down, are wasting your time. All right. A bad habit, snooze button, wastes 5 minutes of your life, right? And it drains your energy. You're actually more tired because you fall back into deep sleep and then you get woken up again. And it's just worse than if you just got up. All right. And they don't feel automatic at all, not even a little bit. It's a struggle every single day, right? It's a struggle every single day to get in your office and do the things you need to do. Um, so identify what those bad habits are, and figure out a way to say, okay, how can I either get rid of them? How can I delegate them? How can I create better habits around them? Because otherwise, we're just going to keep doing the same things that we're doing and expecting different results and being stuck in the like hamster wheel, right? And I'm working all day, but we're not getting anywhere, right? Have you ever done that? Work and work, 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 and nothing's moving, right? So instead, what you can also do, what I also like to do sometimes, instead of just breaking a bad habit, which sometimes can be hard, right? Going cold turkey and just deleting a bad habit can be hard, but maybe we can replace it. Okay. So maybe we can swap some things. All right. So maybe if the first thing you do is check your TikTok and you're on TikTok for 30 minutes, maybe you can replace that 10, 15, 30 minutes and say, okay, let me look at my numbers in the morning. Let me check my team numbers. Let me send my host coaching. So you can take the bad habit and insert a better habit that you would rather do and do that for a serious amount of time until you forgot about the bad habit, rather than just saying, I'm never going to scroll on social media, or I'm never going to eat a cookie again, right? I crave a cookie every day at 3 o'clock. Okay, maybe instead of a cookie, let me get, I don't know, a Greek yogurt, right? And you insert a better habit to the bad habit. Does that make sense? Okay. And the next thing you want to do is think about, what are the new habits that I need to develop, that I need to stick to in order to have the 2025, and forget about 2025, in order to have the first quarter, the next right day, the next good week, the next good month. Okay. You were getting double sales points the first to the 15th, right? The best 15 days I've ever had any year ever, right? What does my day-to-day have to look like? What new habits do I need to define? All right. And I remember, I think it was like Nancy Joe or something years ago, that she said, while you wait for your coffee to brew, you could be unloading the dishwasher, right? That's called like habit stacking. While you wait for your kids to come out of school, the pickup line, you could send some booking messages. All right. Every time you open your social media to scroll, I could instead comment and engage with my followers, right? So you can stack your habits to make it a little easier too. And then of course, we want to track them. Some form or fashion, there's 5,000 apps to help you. You can just have a piece of paper every day. You're like, we like to scratch things off that we did the right things. So you could write out what you want to achieve the next day and then check them off, right? So we feel better as we do them. And another thing I love is that I call them triggers, right? So every habit, especially if you're trying to develop a new habit, maybe you normally send 10 messages, but you want to step up your game and you want to hit 30 messages a day. Maybe you normally do 4 parties a week. You want to step up your game. You want to do 8 parties a week, right? Habits thrive on cues, or I like to call them triggers. All right. So setting an alarm on your phone is my favorite way to create a new habit that otherwise I will forget about, right? So let's say I'm like, okay, Friday night, I want to, check on my host numbers and update their sales or something, but I'm not used to working Friday night. So I need to set an alarm, because otherwise I will be doing what I normally do on Friday night and forget that I will do that, right? Maybe your organizations are changing call schedules or giving new times, or Pampered Chef is giving new times for calls. And you're like, oh man, it used to be every Monday at 8 o'clock. Now it's every Tuesday at 6:45. I don't know, right? Alarms. Anybody love alarms? Yes, alarms are awesome, right? I have alarms for everything. I have alarms to pick up my kid from dance that's been the same for the last 6 months, because I will just, you'll just be in the middle of something and you'll forget. So alarms are your best friend. All right. So whatever triggers you need, whether it's alarms, whether it's laying out your gym clothes the night before, so your brain's already saying, yes, I'm going to go to the gym. Those are triggers. Whether you have to clean up your work area, because if your work area is not clean, you're like me and it drives you nuts. And then you don't want to go in your office, and then you work from the couch, and then you're less productive and it's not a good day, right? Whatever triggers you need, set them up. It's going to allow you to think less and do more. We want to think less. We want to stop overthinking. We want to stop having feelings attached to it, good feelings, bad feelings. We just want to do the things. Just do the next right thing. Don't overthink it. All right. And your reminder is that bad habits are there, and they're going to keep you there, and they're going to keep staying there because they're easy. They're comforting. They're familiar. It's just what we've always done. I've always been a night person. Who says I can be a morning person? I've always been a morning person. Who says I can be a night person? I've never been someone that goes to the gym. Why would I go now? I've never been a top seller. What makes me think I could be one now? I've never earned the top level trip, but this year I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, okay. That's how we talk to ourselves, don't we? Just because you've always been an introvert doesn't mean you can't be a little extroverted. I actually hate labels. I hate, are you team Android or team Apple? Or are you team Starbucks or Dunkin'? I hate all that, okay? Because you could be whatever you want, and you can drink Starbucks one day and be Dunkin' Donuts next day, and that doesn't mean you have to choose a side, all right? So you don't have to label yourself. You don't need the world to label you. Be your own self and love yourself every single day. All right. And appreciate all the good and bad habits, but try to tweak them a little bit so you can become the best version, whatever works for you, not what you think other people want you to be. Right. So what is that next habit that you need to develop? If you had to pick one habit that if you just knew, gosh, if I could just get up 30 minutes early and I could get my host coaching out, and I could put my gym clothes on, and I could be ready, and I could control the day rather than the day controlling me. What is that next right habit that you need to choose starting tomorrow? Not Monday, okay? Not January 1st, okay? January 1st, new resolutions. I call BS on that. They don't exist, all right? It's just a magic date. You can do it tomorrow. You can eat the next right thing for lunch. You can choose to send the right message in 5 minutes. You don't have to wait for the next day, the next week, the next year, the next time you happen to do whatever you think you're going to do. All right. So think about, what is the next right habit that you need to fix? So again, goals are going to get you in the direction that you want to go. Okay. But habits are like no drama. You want good habits. We all want good habits. Because then you just do the same thing every single day. You make your coffee, you brush your teeth, you make your bed, you go in your office, you pick up the kids, you make dinner, blah, 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 blah. Everything just runs smoothly. And it can run smoothly for all of you guys, I promise, whatever that looks like. So let's figure out what the new habit is that we need, that all of us need, okay? So we can bridge, right? We need that bridge that gets us over to Alaska, right? We need to bridge over there. We need to bridge over to the new title, and we need to become a different version along the way. So you can start today. You can start after this call. I love what Donna says, where I do this once my holiday parties, like once my parties are over between now and the new year, I do that all the time. Like I'll get hot chocolate. I sit next to my tree, and I just have a blank piece of paper, and I'm like, what do you want to be better at, Claudia? What do you need to let go of? And it's like my favorite time of the year to just kind of sit down and reflect on my good and bad habits, my good things on my schedule, the bad things on my schedule, the things I put on my schedule and never do, right? So I challenge all of you guys to take some time. If you don't have a Christmas tree, whatever you do, believe in, sit under the fire, whatever, just take some time, not looking at your phone, not scrolling, to just be for 10, 15, 30 minutes and just reflect Figure out what's working, figure out what's not working, figure out what you need to change, you need to delegate, you need to automate. But most importantly, what are some new habits? I'm going to say it again, and then we'll open up for questions. What are new habits that you need to develop to earn whatever you want to earn next year? Or who do you have to become? Maybe you have to become the person that gets up early. Maybe you have to become the person that shows up to every single call without your director reminding you 5,000 times. Maybe you have to become the person that makes your bed every morning, right? Who do you have to become to reach your goals with those new habits that we just talked about starting tomorrow? All right. All right. So you got your habits, you got goals, we got vision. I think we covered it all. And that leaves perfect time for 15 minutes of questions, I think. Right, Donna?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so put it in the chat if you have a question that you would like, or if you want to, it's best if you put it in the chat because we've got quite a few people on here. And then we can call on you if you want to speak or if you want to ask it, let us know.
Yeah, I think there's a good question. Like, it's not a question, it's kind of like a statement, right? But some of you guys may have too much time. Maybe you're retired, the kids are out of the house, you're like, well, I could work all day, right? But we still need a task list of what are the most important things that I need to do. And there needs to be a deadline. I could work all day. I'm sure all of you guys could sit here and work all day. That doesn't mean you should, right? And that still means that we need to work on the right things first thing in the morning, get that done. If you don't work full time, that should be your most productive time. Everything before noon, get it done, and then you can play and do whatever you want to do.
So it sounds like there's a bunch of questions in here. So the first one, sample schedule to help me get started. So it sounds like a couple people want to know what your daily schedule is, Claudia Bazaar.
I might scare you a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do a lot, but I don't want to scare you. So I think you have to decide what it is for you. So what I always teach my team, let me see if I have one here. It's on my fridge, but you can go to Google Calendar, not Google Calendar. You can go to Google and you type in weekly schedule, and you print out a schedule that says Monday through Sunday, right? And then when do you get up and when do you go to sleep? And you just dump out anything you do. You go to work, your kids have dance, basketball. Every Wednesday you go to church, every Sunday you go to knitting club, whatever. You just dump out everything you do. And then your goal is to find the pockets of time that you're going to work your Pamper Chef business. And then what are the things that you need to do? So I always do my personal business first. I do my virtual parties first, everything I need to do, house coaching. Like, if you want to break it down to as small as 15 minutes or 5 minutes of host coaching, like, you can break it down for as small as you want. It shouldn't just be work. Okay, it should be very, very specific of what you need to do. And it's always, you change it and you tweak it, and I do it every year. I change it and I tweak it and I update, and then my kid's schedule changes, so I have to tweak it again. um, but you need to identify what are the consistent blocks of times, and then take it further and say, what do I need to do during those times? Because we need a deadline. I need an alarm to go off every 15 minutes to remind me, oh, next task. And whatever I get to, I get to. And I like to race against the clock. I'm like, can I do it faster? Right. But we need a deadline. Otherwise, it's like we scroll and dings. Oh, that's another tip. My husband's like, you never answer your phone. My phone's always on silent. Like, text me, okay? If it's important, they'll get a hold of me somewhere. But my phone, no dinging on the computer, no noises in my house. Noise canceling headphones are really good. Like, you need to shut off all distractions when you go to work. But you need to figure out what you need to do every single day. And it's different for all of us.
So what were the two things you reflect on at the end of the year? Jennifer Soto wants to know. She said she wrote down the same thing twice. I'm curious what the same thing twice is.
I don't remember what I said, but I just look at things overall. I look at my personal business. I look at my team's business, but really, I actually just break it down mostly about what was my schedule like, the last 30, 60, 90 days? Was it the way I wanted to? Did I achieve what I wanted to? And what do I need to tweak for the next year? So if I want to, I'm not the best seller or anything. I'm like, let's say I want to sell more, right? Oh, that's my negative number this year, right? Like, let's say, like, Claudia, you need to get your sales game up, right? What do I need to do? I probably need more time in my virtual party. So I don't just like, I guess I don't accept defeat like in like, oh well, I guess I'm not, just not going to recruit anyone this month or my recruiting numbers is low. No, why is it low? What did I do wrong? There's always something, right? We can't play the blame game here besides ourselves. There's always something that I wasn't doing consistently or wasn't doing enough of or wasn't doing it the right way that I need to reflect on so I know how I can be, be better next year.
Do you have any favorite books on habits?
Atomic Habits is the best, the easiest, the best read. That's actually where I learned habit stacking years ago. So that's why I still to this day, every night I do the same thing, guys. I lay out my clothes for the gym. I set my alarm because if I don't do it, then I get angry in the morning because I didn't lay out my clothes and then I can't find the right outfit and then I get frustrated. So habit stacking, Atomic Habits is my favorite. To help keep from working all day when you have too much time on your hands, is it best to turn the sounds off after tasks so you can focus on either duties or at least get yourself to do other hobbies and not get burnt out? Yeah, I mean, I think you need to just, no, none of us needs to work 8, 10 hours a day. Okay. None of us. So I think you need to write down the things that you need to do and then, that's another great assignment is just for a whole week, right? Write down what you do every day. Oh, I got up and I made coffee, but then I ended up scrolling. Like write a track, everything you do every single day, every minute, every 15 minutes, write it all down and then you can reflect on it. And you're probably going to realize how much time you waste. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, just real quick on Facebook. And it's like 20 minutes later. And I talk to myself, Claudia, get back to work, right? Great thing to do, Della, and just track that and then break it down. Like, okay, I need to set up 4 parties. How long does it take me? Time yourself. I need to send host coaching to 4 hosts. How long does it take me? Time yourself. I need to record what I'm making for dinner. How much longer does it take me than to just cook dinner? 10 extra minutes. Time yourself. Don't give yourself all day. Nobody needs to work all day.
Yeah, and I have a tip too for those of you who you have too much on your plate, right? And you don't know what to take off and you need clarity, right? To know which habits to work on. There's a great book called The One Thing, and this book is my guide, right? But there's actually a question that I love, and it says, "What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary?" And if you are clear at what that one thing is, right, by going through that why and knowing what's driving you, what's that one thing, then you will get clarity on the habits that you will need to make that one thing happen. You'll also get clarity on things you can delegate, eliminate. Okay. There's so many things we do that waste just so much time. And getting clarity is probably step one to the rest of it. So maybe that'll help you. The book is The One Thing by Gary Keller, K-E. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. All right, Ginger says, how do you respond to not sticking with your schedule? Flexibility is important, right? We love flexibility, but sometimes I try to keep a schedule and then life happens. Yeah. I think flexibility is what we love, is what I love most about the business. But I do know that I can't have it different every day. Okay. So, like for a while, I was not, I would schedule my kid's dentist appointment at 10 a.m. and I would do things that would interrupt with at least my first kind of quarter of the day. And then I knew, I mean, I said I was going to get back in my office when I got back and it never happened. So then I was like, okay, this is obviously not working, Claudia. So I now moving forward, right? Probably the last 6 months or so, I scheduled any appointments after 12 o'clock because I know I need at least until noon to get my most important work done. If that's all I get done, that's fine. Now, if I have to, right? That's the beauty of flexibility. I can change it. But I think the hardest part is when you start saying yes to all the things, and that yes, it's flexible, but you still have a choice and control over, is that something I want to say yes to? And is that important enough for me to adjust my schedule and a routine? So flexibility is great, but it can also be a little hindering at times, right? So you need to figure out, if it drives me crazy every single day that I'm changing my schedule. We all need a schedule. We all need a routine. It's just humans love a routine and a rhythm. So I wouldn't, if you feel like it's changing all the time, then you have to maybe make a task list and stuff like that. But I would protect your schedule and your routine too.
What are your best tips if we're short on the trip this year, especially when hosts this month are crappy? Well, it depends how far you are. You know what? It's not over till the fat lady sings. You got 15 more days and you got a big sale coming for the next 2 days. Go for it. It depends how far you are, though. I would definitely get with your upline and strategize and see, can this be done, or should I regroup for next year's trip? Do you have anything to add to that, Claudia? 13,000
No,
short. People have done it, okay?
yeah.
People have done it.
And again, who do you need to be? You have to do your regular stuff, but then what else, right? Ask yourself, what else can I do? Can I go live and have a Christmas sale countdown? Can I max out my messages every day? Can I send emails? Can I call some friends? Can I don't know, maybe there's a craft fair that's this weekend. Who knows? Like, if you ask yourself what else, what else, what else, what else, there's always something else we come up with or we can do. And actually, sometimes, or most of the time, I find it's almost better when you come up with it yourself, because you buy more into it. You're like, oh man, what if I don't know, messaged all my past hosts and um 20% off sale, and they get 10% off. Poof. All right. Look, I just came up with that. 30% off sale for past hosts. All right. Exclusive only. There you go. So, right. But when you start thinking about it, you become a solution oriented person, and you're just going to come up with all kinds of stuff that then you're going to share with us, which is going to be amazing. But that's how amazing things are created for sure. All right. Any final questions?
I think we've addressed most of them. How do you respond to not sticking with your schedule?
Yeah, I said
Again,
that.
I think knowing your number one thing, right, will help that with that. And buying into it too, right? So once you decide on it, you have to buy into it. You have to believe that you can do it. And you kind of remember that belief triangle, right? So you have to start taking the actions to start getting some results to believe, oh, this is working. Okay, I can earn this trip. And then you take more actions. So sometimes it just, like if you think too much, if you're a thinker like me, you don't want to think too much. You just want to start doing some actions and then evaluating, right? You start getting some results and that
And
triangle.
I would challenge you too that if you stop sticking to the schedule, or it's probably not your ideal schedule. It's probably what you think your schedule should look like, but you're not really believing that that's something you can do. Um, so keep evaluating it, right?
Yeah, I definitely, if you're someone that you feel like I don't have time, I don't have enough time, I'm working all the time, the first thing you need to do is what Claudia said, right? Is you need to write down everything you do from the minute you wake up in the morning to the minute you go to bed in 5, 10 minute increments. I know it's painful, but if you do that for 1 week, you will realize what is wrong with your schedule, right? How many of you have done that? How many of you hate the thought of doing that, right? But that's a tracker. That's how you know what's wrong and how to fix it.
Go into Google and type in weekly schedule, and you can find all kinds of prints outs and stuff.
Yeah, you want something that at least breaks it into hours, but best if it even breaks it into 15-minute increments.
Yeah. And you can even write your own times, or yeah, you just gotta figure out what works for you.
Yep, too much time on hands is a problem.
It
Uh,
is, yeah.
it's
It's
probably more
almost
of a
worse.
problem
It's
than
almost
not having.
worse. Yeah,
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 it is.
yeah. People that have less time typically are faster because they know they only have so much time.
Oh yeah, Shelley said Canva has a great weekly. Yes, they do. I
Yeah,
forgot
can.
about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All
I
right.
think we're
Cool.
done. I hope you enjoyed it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, everyone. And let's make this the best year ever. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, thank you.